Franklin Liberty Ultra Short Bond ETF. Happy Monday.
Oh, yeah. Just doing some work for some various clients. Uh,
Yeah, and then it was awesome. That was one for the books.
what is
Ash just uploaded a People Wish interview as well.
nice?
Another one where he talked about some different stuff. I listened to some of it this morning. Mhm.
Nice.
Got a snowstorm here, bro.
Dude,
It is
same.
crazy. Just listening to classic Christmas all morning.
Hmm. Bless
Yeah,
me.
Paramount just put up a big offer for Warner Bros.
I saw that.
$30 a share.
I know Warner Bros. Was so sought after.
Yeah.
Alrighty, ladies, gentlemen. Let's uh let's get to work. What do you say? Let some people get in. Uh, all right. That's dude, just WVE Wave Life Life Sciences, 70%. This thing's got a history of making big day one moves. Did it last year multiple times right here in September and again in October, 70% moves. Um anyways, made it a few times last year. This Fulcrum, man, I was actually looking at this because what was it? What biotech got bought out? That Bobo was trading. He had a sick trade on it. Um, no, not RNA. Recently, it was like not TXG, but kind of like TXG. One of the biotech, start with the E. No, no, this is just like a week ago. It's like gapped up to $80.
You said biotech?
Yeah, it's like a genomic stock.
Was it large cap?
Yeah, it's pretty large. It was a Kathy
Uh,
J holding. Yeah, it was a
oh,
news
really?
trade. What was it? Anyways, Fulcrum FULC was on that list. You guys are driving me. You guys are making me think I'm.
EXAS?
Yeah, Exact Sciences, EXAS, Exact Sciences. Anyways, when I searched that, FULC was one of the comparable stocks. Was up 18%. I was watching this consolidate. Anyways,
Oh,
kind
it
of
was like
just
a sympathy mover.
yeah. MRVL's down 7% after a downgrade, and the information article that they might lose chip design of Amazon's chip. So we'll see. If this does end up getting bought up, this is gonna look sick.
Yeah, then it would look like AVGO from Wednesday.
This would look so sick. Um, and it's the information, and the entire
Yeah.
every single person in the market hates the information right now.
Take advantage of
Um,
that edge while it lasts.
yeah. So we'll see on that. Um, Otherwise, LITE gapping up another 4.5% to new highs, just under 350. COHR is gapping up 4%. I hit 192 in the pre-market. Back, in the pre-market range, 190. Um, a lot of biotechs gapping up on various PRs. There's SNDK also gapping up just under 4%. AVGO gapping up just under 4%. Baidu had a nice upgrade this morning of 181 price target following the 6% move on Friday about them IPOing on Hong Kong, a segment, a chip design segment of their business or something like that. Um, really like this. Really like this look and look forward to how it's going to consolidate over the coming days. Something like this would be incredible. Makes me want, to have a little bit of this Baba on watch. Um, this chart's similar. I'm a little less attracted to it. Um, K-Web looks like a wedge pop coming soon. I actually have something drawn out. Yeah, there it is. So I drew this out all the way down here when we were holding the 200-day moving average. And look at how it's behaved so far. That's pretty crazy. Anywho, QQQ gapping up $2.25 to start this fine week. Um, ARC and IWM are gapping up a little less than 1%. ARC's up 0.8%, IWM up 0.8% as well, to new weekly highs. I think we're just pennies below all-time
10
highs right now.
cents, 10 cents
Yeah,
below. 77 is the all-time high.
it is very exciting. Hey, this is just a good mental note, by the way. This 245 level we have been discussing kind of, for the past month and a half, 2 months or so. Um, if you zoom out just this 140, 245, I'm going to make it nice and thick. Okay. This is the high from post-election. This is the high from 2021. And you can see how we've just danced around that where before it's been clean rejections off that spot. And then, over here, we've kind of pushed above. We had this little volatility around it, rejected that level, led to about a $15 decline. And then look at when we turned that into support last week. And then this gap up and push when this kind of gained some momentum on Wednesday into Thursday, making about a 4% move. Anyways, turning that's like the GLB, right? The green line breakout from Dr. Eric Wish. If you're not familiar with that, you can go watch his Trader Line session with Richard Moglen, and marking those out there. There it is. We have new all-time highs on Uncle Russell. Okay, anyways, let's get to work. MU also had an upgrade this morning, kind of pushing SNDK. I do have these memory stocks on watch this week. Kind of curious if, man, we get some sort of higher low.
Yeah, SNDK got a big upgrade this morning. They got
Hey,
some really nice comments from JP Morgan.
gotcha. That makes sense. So SNDK and MU, you got this little double bottom on SNDK. Chartmaster had a really good buy on this. Which by the way, we're doing a workshop tonight. Chartmaster
Nice.
doing workshop tonight on I can't remember what his topic that he had in mind was. But it was a good one. I'm excited for it. Um, and we'll go from there. A lot of these stocks that I'm sure everybody has seen and have them on their list. Things like this poet that made 40% moves last week, inside day Friday. I'm watching a lot of these Wolf. I mean, there's BBAI, RR, EOSE, right? They just have these inside days on Friday. And we got flat opens on them today. I've got a lot of these on watch, even like an AMPX as well. Um, it's a pretty hefty portion of my watch list. I didn't put it like immediately on the focus list necessarily, but um, I'm certainly watching a variety of those. Again, that's BBAI, EOSE, RR, and what was the other one? Da, 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 da. What am I blanking? Oh, poet. Um, that that's a good portion of my list of things that I'd like to see kind of how they react to Friday's inside day movement. Really want a piece of this Baidu. Um, kind of wish I would have gotten involved on this gap up, but I was looking at it for a bit and I'm like putting myself in the moment again and like okay, I I don't see me buying that type of look on the hourly.
And they're
Um,
so hard to buy in gap ups. I mean,
I
you have to factor that in a little bit.
yeah, so I'm not I'm aware. And then I see this move today. I'm like, okay, well, This is just solidifying. This is exactly what I'd want to see on the hourly chart to build out, whether it occurs down here and we didn't get the gap up or whether it occurs up there after this move. But I am going to be watching this over the coming days. Manrav posted in the long-term channel as well. Um, Let me pull up this, and then there's Cipher and Wolf. These are gapping up slightly, which I don't like. I really would have loved a week open on these, an undercut of the 20 May or undercut of the inside day in red green. That would have been like the easiest buy this morning. Um, of anything. Wolf, I still think is attractive. I still think these are competing. I think Cipher behaved the best last week. And actually since the kind of the bottom move, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with Wolf either. Um, and I think they're both actually kind of still determining which one's going to be the better trader. And maybe you don't even need to answer that question. Maybe you get pieces of both of them. Maybe you already have pieces of both of them. Be okay with that. But I think Wolf is still interesting here in this about 14 to 15 range right here. These are going to be on my list. Um, and then yeah, I mean, I really like the post, the kind of the stuff we went over in Sunday scans. Really kind of happy with the list that I've got going. Make sure if you're reading this, make sure to check out and read the ETF stuff too, because um, there've been some
Yeah, you've been early to some pretty big themes this year with that ETF section. I can't
really
lie.
big. I mean, XL, this especially XLV and the excitement and the rotation about it. Even XHB, way back here, XBI, even down here when we were consolidating below the 200-day moving average. I was talking about the the massive potential in that, and this was multiple weeks, before these gained momentum. So, make sure to pay attention to that because I spend a lot of time going through, not like I'm gonna, you don't need to care about my time. I'm just saying like I put in the work to look through a lot of ETFs and groups of stocks to kind of see the ebbs and flow of the market. So it's not just systematic like, oh, let's go through the 12 spider sectors and make a comment on each of them. No, it's like deliberately choosing which ones I think are viable. Anyways, um PL is gapping up about 2.5%. Really want to see this. I'd love to see us just push up to 14 early this week. Is can sit and consolidate. I've got to position this around 1240. I think a little bit below that. No, 1240 exactly. Um, but really happy with this kind of wedge pop here inside day. Again, I don't really want to see a stall around. I'd like to see this get pushing really quickly. Um, and yeah, we got FOMC this week on Wednesday. Yeah, Powell talking. I don't actually think he's going to say much nuanced. We got a bunch of data coming out after FOMC. They're going to cut rates. Um, Not sure what he can say negatively or positively. I think the only negative thing he could say, and we'll talk about this later. Market opens in 10 minutes. Bracco, over to you in Kentucky.
Yeah, can I bring my screen up?
Yeah. What? Oh shit. There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so just based off, I mean, I think you covered most of it, to be honest. I'd have to say I'd probably my favorite looks is probably some of these data center names. I mean, just strictly because you kind of have like the whole theme of them kind of setting up with like, CIFR, Wolf and Hut. Those are kind of the three that like separated themselves from the pack. But I think CIFR probably looks the cleanest through this $20 spot today. If you're looking for like a clean chart with a clean trigger, I kind of like this over Wolf just because of the way it trended in the first part of the rally in these names. I mean, this thing was just super linear, super fast, and Wolf did make a big move. I know it was kind of a pain sitting in this thing for a while, but eventually it like paid off. But I do like Cypher the best out of that group. I really like this BE, but like it's gapping up over this 120 pivot. This is like the spot that it got stuffed at on that Thursday bar, where it came down and kind of capitulated. So there's like a really big level. It's gapping up into it. I think this has potential. It had a really nice inside bar on Friday. I kind of listed in Sunday scans why this should like definitely remain a focus. So we'll see. I think that's also in play today. PL, like you mentioned, they have earnings this week. I think Wednesday. I think in the pre-market. I'm not sure. But honorable mentions I had. Obviously, EOSC is one of them. Inside day on Friday. Lemonade. I know everyone's been watching this. We were even talking about platinum and palladium futures this morning. They actually look like really nice in that metals group. I think if you're interested, there's two ETFs, PPLT for platinum, building out this nice flag here, and then PALL for palladium coming out of this really nice base. These don't, these don't make massive moves, but hey, I mean, 40% move here out of this spot. That's pretty solid. So, yeah, really low volume in this base, rising 50 day, nice and tight below this breakout spot. This looks really nice. Um, yeah, I did write up about how, VIX is kind of getting in the low 15s now. We have Fed coming up, you know, well aware that we could like definitely, I would love like some sort of, oh, my alert just went off on Palladium. I would actually love like just some sort of harsh little pullback to reset some things. I mean, some of these charts would just look so phenomenal if they would, chop around a little bit longer and pull back. Um, But yeah, IWM's making all-time highs this morning, leading the way again. RSP made all-time highs on Friday. MDY made new year-to-date highs. So really strong action. This is like the broadest we've seen the uptrend really all year. So that's really nice to see. But not a ton of setups on my list today. I'd say two I'd be interested in, probably Cypher and BE if I had to pick two. And yeah, that's about it. Tesla's pulling back on this downgrade this morning, which is nice. I'd love for this to pull back a little bit more and consolidate a little bit up here. But this is obviously into the end of the year should be a pretty big focus. So yeah, we'll see how this sets up. And then yeah, that's all I had on my list this morning. I think you covered all the notable news. Core Reeves gapping down a little bit. Raised 2 billion in convertible senior notes. This will be interesting too to see how this reacts to that. Like if this gets bought up and holds like the moving averages here, had like basically an inside down Friday. If this goes like red to green today, I mean that could be, or just supports and pushes out tomorrow. That could be a good sign of some like news failure, and this to be basing out. I bet Ethereum are really interesting. These are getting really tight. I imagine we're going to get the decision on this, on whether this is like a base that's going to break down further on the Fed or after the Fed, I'd imagine. It'll be really interesting to see because I've been watching this MSTR traded like a ton of volume last week. And it's kind of at like a decision spot. So I imagine they kind of set it all up into the Fed somehow and we get our answers after that. So probably going to try to stay a little bit, patient until that. Hopefully that opens up the door to some more opportunities.
Opens the door, you say, huh?
Yeah, open. I got an alert set at last week's highs on this, so we'll see. Really mid-range right now, but I mean, if it retakes the 50 day and gets over last week's highs, this is going to be a really interesting chart. There's going to be a lot of people watching it.
Here's my prediction.
I can't see your chart.
I'll just post it in the chat.
Oh, here you go. Yeah, DXYZ's gapping up 10%. That SATS finally got going.
I know, what a joke.
IBM acquired CFLT, $11 billion deal. I think that's it. FLNC's gapping down a little bit. I didn't really understand that headline. Okay, Lowe's gapping up out of that inside day on Friday. A little crossback. They got an upgrade this morning as well.
I should do like the IBM look. It's got that it's a slower mover, but it's got that gap up, failed breakout, pull back to the 50 SMA area. No, forgot the 50 SMA is banned.
This Carvana weekly chart's just nuts, dude. Big all-time high gap up.
Including the S&P 500. Rob tops it. All right, everybody got any questions, comments, concerns? Let's go do what we do.
Oh, Chipotle is moving right now. $1.8 billion share repurchase.
Yeah, I like the broader list that I got going. Oh, AEHR is another one of those inside days, kind of like ELSE and Poet and BBI and stuff that I think is viable. Yeah, let's keep it simple. Shane, hey, remind me of that a little bit later in the morning. We can talk about that, okay?
Yeah, that'll be a good little segment midday if some things slow down a little bit.
So we got this ATI on watch, by the way. Could be actionable as soon as like right away at the open. Let's keep an alert on EOSE on the hourly. You got about 14.8. The inside day range low. If we undercut and hold that. And then about 15.5, give or take, kind of the area that I'd like to see it get above on EOSE. A firm's got triple inside days.
And
Triple.
oops is a slap.
And oops is a slap, indeed. I mean, look at the monthly. I'm not even joking.